Hello.
Welcome back.
Here we are.
So we were, you know what, I feel bad wearing these when you're not. Oh, so we were going to do
our... Be a rock star.
Yeah, that's the way I am. We were going to do our next part of our series about wellness, spring into wellness. But because it's so important with things that are happening this week and this weekend that we decided to take a little pause. And we're coming in talking about Mother's Day,
right?
Teacher Appreciation Week, and Nurses
Appreciation Week.
So if you see her and follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest, you'll see that we have posted a bunch of things about those. So a bunch of memes that are pretty funny. So
yeah, well, we think they're funny.
We always think we're funny.
That's just us.
So, but here is our drink. It's really pretty. At the end of this...
I have a question. Why is your cherry floating and mine sunk?
I don't know. I know, it looks pretty good. I don't know.
I'm a little worried.
You know what? He's on the raft. He's on the lemon.
Mine has drowned.
But we are calling this what do we call it? The Tipsy Teacher / Nurse Cocktail. Really good.
It is really good.
It is really good.
It's like summertime refreshment. It's so pretty.
So good. Yeah. At the end of this, you'll see how we made it.
You know, my kids are going to laugh at me because I don't usually like blue food or drinks. I don't like blue M&Ms.
Really?
No.
That's a little weird.
I know.
Not gonna lie.
I don't.
Blue's my favorite color.
You want to eat blue stuff?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
What really is blue? Like,
it's not appetizing.
What would
the
be
drink's
blue?
beautiful.
This is beautiful.
M&Ms are blue.
M&Ms,
I don't know. I can just think
blue
of
cotton candy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'd rather have pink.
All right. Well, anyway, so we move on. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thanks. What are you going to do this Mother's Day?
I'm not sure.
Anything
I think
special?
we don't have a lot of plans, which makes my heart so happy.
I know.
Because we have been so overbooked lately.
Yes.
And
you've been gone a lot.
We have, I know. I have to give a shout out to my beautiful niece, Ashley, who just got married in Nashville this week. That's where I was the past 5 days. Nashville. Yay. Oh my gosh, have you been?
No, and that's what I want to do.
Everybody has to go to... You haven't been to Nashville?
No, I have not.
It's like the drinking capital of the world.
I know. Remember?
We should go.
Oh my God, we should do a thing from there. Look, we're taking
Nashville. We're coming for you, and we're doing a show.
We are going to set up a GoFundMe to send us to Nashville.
You know, it's not cheap to get there. It's super easy. Flights out of Harrisburg. Like, my niece is coming here Memorial Day weekend.
Really?
$38.
Shut up.
Right, but you can only get 2 drinks, maybe 1.5 drinks for $38 when you hit Broadway.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? We'll start saving up.
All right.
So all the money.
Happy Mother's Day to all of you.
To all of our
there.
friends. Yes, this is what you should be doing. You should be spending time with friends, and hopefully that you'll be able to do exactly what you wanted to do. All the time when the kids would ask me, "What do you want to do for Mother's Day?" I was like, "Nothing. I want to lay in my bed. I want to watch what I want to watch, and I want to do what I want to do." And that was it.
I always just want to be with my kids.
Yeah, I didn't.
I don't want to. I don't want to cook.
Yeah.
I don't know why Father's Day is such a big day for grilling because it should be Mother's Day. Could you grill me some shrimp or lobster tails or not burgers and hot dogs? I'm not talking that. I'm talking fancy
surf and
food.
turf.
Yeah.
Filet and like lobster.
Yeah, some clams.
Deserve it.
Some seafood.
Sure.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens this Mother's Day, but we hope you all have a good Mother's Day.
Yes. So with that, we were thinking, you know, a lot of teachers are moms because it is a good profession to get into because you do have your summers off with your kids. You know what I mean? You're still busy as heck, but we thought that we would move into Teacher Appreciation Day. So I had asked Tammy earlier, did she have like a special story about like anything funny that happened to your kids or?
Nothing funny, but really a sweet story. So I have twins, and when it was time to go to kindergarten, my son, who was really just did not want to leave my side. He just was so adorable and always cuddling with me. And he's going to be really embarrassed now. But anyway, he didn't really, the last year of preschool didn't even go well because he had that like attachment, like they had to take him off of my leg. Aww. And I sat in the car and cried while he went into the classroom.
And he was fine.
And so I was so worried about kindergarten. And the first day, you know, they have the open school day. You go in, you meet your teacher, you find out about your school. Yeah. So the first day for the open school day, we went in, and of course my daughter just goes in and like finds her locker, takes over the room, like probably, you know, approves the teacher.
She's the president of the class now.
That was her personality. My son was staying right by my side, and when the kindergarten teacher was finished talking to the student before us, she went up to him and said, put her arm around him and said, come here, lovey. Let me show you where you're going to hang your coat when you come into school.
Oh.
Right? Goosebumps.
Yeah.
I don't know if
That's
I can
a good
say her
teacher.
name, but I'm going
to.
to.
No, go for it.
Shout out to Leah Plymeyer. She knows she's always been a rock star in my heart, and she continues to be because
I've heard a lot,
loving nature
Yeah.
of taking care of my son his very first day.
I heard a lot of good things about Mrs. Plymeyer, and I was always like, "Oh, you had Mrs. Plymeyer.
She's
You're
rock
so
star.
lucky."
She came to my kid's graduation party.
Yeah, see,
rock star.
she's a wonderful, you were in Roundtown, we were in another school, we were at Hayshire, and all three of my kids had, I do have a funny story. All three of my kids had a second grade teacher, and my oldest, when she was in second grade, brought my youngest in as show and tell. So,
that's hysterical.
So she's holding him and she's showing everybody, his show and tell. And so she was like your typical student. She was just like your perfect student. And then I told her about my second one and I said, she's not going to be perfect. Well, she ended up being great. And then Nick came along and he was her third person. So when we went for the parent teacher conference, and you know what, she's retiring now, so I'm going to put it out there. We made sure that we ended up as the last teacher conference. And we came into her school and we brought a bottle of champagne, and she had a student teacher at the time, and we sat there, we opened their champagne, poured all of us champagne, and he was like, this is the best teachers conference ever. And she was just like, oh my God, because she had all three of our kids.
That's awesome.
And
but why am I not surprised that
Yeah,
you brought champagne to the teacher? I'm surprised it wasn't Prosecco.
I know. Well, at that time, I wasn't a big Prosecco, person. I didn't know all about it. But it was great. And there's a lot of teachers that had. Actually, she's probably the only one that's had all three kids.
Oh wow!
She
that's
came
special.
to our daughter's wedding.
Oh, that's,
Yep. So, and I have pictures. She's wonderful, Mrs. Blankenstein. Love you.
So teachers are such an important part of our children, not only our children's lives, but as parents.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because you're entrusting somebody to educate your child and treat them fairly and just help them grow. It's like you do it and then you have to leave it and let somebody else do it, right?
Right.
And so we are deeply grateful for teachers.
Teachers are not only teachers, they're parents, they're grandparents to these kids. They're the counselors. They're their buddy, they're their nurse. So there's a lot of hats that the teachers wear because unfortunately nowadays, a lot of the kids, I shouldn't say a lot of the kids, a number of children come to the school with a really bad background. So you have to teach them, you need to get a shower, or this is deodorant, or, there's so many times when my last year at 6th grade, I was like, I looked around and if you haven't noticed, I have a very sarcastic attitude. And I looked around and I said to the kids, I go, y'all smell. And they started laughing. And I said, look, it's normal. Bring deodorant, put it in your locker. I have some. My teacher that I worked with had some. Put it on throughout the day. Go do it. And I said, it's a normal thing. And they were like, really? Okay. But they stunk.
Well,
anywho,
speaking of that,
yes,
we should move on. We've got some quotes here from teachers.
Yes.
Things that students have said to teachers that teachers have reported, and it's pretty funny.
Yes. So the first one I want to say is I was teaching preschool, and I had the sweetest kids, and there was a little girl there, and she was telling us about how she's a ballet dancer and she dances and da 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 da. And one little boy looked over and he goes, really excited, he goes, "Do you dance at the bar?"
Oh my goodness.
And she goes, yes, I do dance at the bar.
Oh, well.
And we were cracking, so innocent, but funny.
Cute.
Yep. So that was one.
So cute. That's adorable.
What's another one? Go ahead.
All right, so here's one. I did really love this one. So a teacher said, I wrote this on the whiteboard during discussion. William Shakespeare, parentheses, 1564-1616, and a 6th grader asked me, is that Shakespeare's real phone number? Sorry,
I taught 6th graders. That's the kind of stuff they would ask. Okay, how about this? I love this one where I used to get, this is a couple of them. Oh my gosh, Mrs. Markle, you're so pretty. You remind me of my grandma. And I was like, what?
Oh, I love this one. Okay, so after a stressful day, a teacher declared out loud that she had had it for the day. One of her precocious little pre-K girls said to her, oh, Mrs. S., you just need a wine cooler.
Hello. Probably my kid.
Might be mine.
Another one I heard was how a little student said, "Oh my gosh, I wish I had sparkles in my hair like you do," talking about the teacher's gray hair.
Oh. So this was from a middle schooler who doesn't like school. She said, "Miss Polly, you're okay for a teacher. I hate you less than the others."
Oh, middle schools will tell you anything. Or when you go in with something different with your hair, they look at you and they go, "What'd you do to your hair?" Yeah, you got to have thick skin to be a teacher.
Here, this one. You smell like Las Vegas.
What does Las Vegas smell
I've not been there. I don't know. I know what Nashville smells like, but I would imagine it might be kind of the same. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, how about oh yeah, do that one.
Okay.
If I had a water, yeah.
I had a water bottle with a tea packet in it, and the student asked me if it was beer. I told him no, and he replied, "Well, you should, because my daddy says it takes the edge off."
You got to be careful when you're a teacher, too.
You do.
Oh, I love this one. Teacher says to the child, "Do you do your homework in the morning, after school, or at night?" And the child says, "Well, my mom does my homework, so I don't even know how to answer that question." Parents.
Cheers. Cheers. I never did my kids' homework.
Either did I, but
never.
but I've had, you could tell when the kids come in and their homework is done by their parents. So, yes, that's good.
You know what would really stink? If you did their homework and they failed.
And they
that was my biggest fear. That's why I never did my kids' homework.
Well, how
they
far?
Came back an F. Like, yeah. I could see if I did my kids' homework and they came home with it and it was like a C, I'd be like, "What the hell? This is not C work. Wait till I see that teacher."
My husband always says that we were up to a 6th grade level at this house because that's the highest I could go is 6th grade. Yeah, I could teach all the way up to 8th, but I couldn't because I didn't know how to answer some of the questions.
So funny. Oh, I can't wear my new glasses in your class because it's math. The doctor says they're just for reading.
Do this one too. A student once complained.
Oh.
Yeah, this is great.
Well, you could have done it. Okay,
apparently
I'm doing all the work today. It's Bridget's day off. You just sit back and relax and have your cocktail. Okay, a student once complained to me that another student called him the E word. I didn't know what the E word was, so I asked, and the student replied, "Idiot." Wait, was the student calling the teacher an idiot for not knowing the E word, or
no?
Did they mean
the other
idiot?
The other child. Oh my gosh, he called me the E word.
Idiot.
Yeah, idiot.
I have to share this one because it's funny. It has nothing to do with teachers, just kids.
Okay, go.
So my son went to the playoff game right before the last playoff game. What is that, NFC Championship game? And it was a whole group of people that I work with, and behind them, in the seats behind them, was a dad and about a 6, 7, 8-year-old, no higher than 8 years old. So when the Eagles got that last touchdown, the crowd was going crazy, just nuts. And the kid, 6, 7, 8 years old, yells, "We're going to the fucking Super Bowl!"
You can't yell at him. You can't yell at him. He's an Eagles fan. You can't yell at him.
Like all the guys around them were cracking up laughing. So this story came to me secondhand, but I've heard it now twice from 2 of the guys at that. But oh my gosh, so funny. I don't know what I would have done if my kids did that.
You know what?
I probably would have cracked up laughing, and then we would have had a little.
Yeah. How many
moment.
times have you
like,
turned around?
Hey guys.
No. How many times have you turned around? I have. My middle daughter. I swear to God, when she was 3, I turned around so many times and just like. You could see my shoulder shaking because I was laughing so hard, and then I'd have to turn around and say, "You can't, blah, blah, blah. You're going to go." Blah, blah.
That is a dirty word.
Don't laugh in front of your kids. You don't think they're funny. That's the one thing that my mom taught me. And the other thing my mom taught me about my kids and being a teacher, and I told the parents this, believe half of what they tell you, and I'll believe half of what they tell me.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll probably have to do a thing on dirty words, because I always wondered what makes the word dirty. Like, who said that the F word that we both just used hard in our language? We were just telling stories.
We don't use it every day. My mouth is burning from using it.
I know. I should wash my mouth.
Look at yours and look at mine.
We're washing our mouth out.
I'm going to wait until she catches up.
But we'll have to do a video about bad words, because I have a really funny story about dirty words with kids.
All right. Yeah, we'll pull some people.
I think it's because they're so innocent and sweet, right? And then that filth that just came out of our mouths comes out of their mouth.
I got some too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was about teachers. So we're gonna flip. Yep, and we're gonna talk about nurses. Teachers, we love you.
We're grateful for you.